Hi, we're currently in this Chakra series. Every week will be a different color. So we spoke briefly on the root chakra, red, 2 weeks ago. Last week there was a focus on the second chakra, the orange color, and we talked about sweetness, and I encouraged you to find orange objects in your world, in your environment. And so today we're on number 3, and we're kind of moving up from our root up. So there are 7 that we are going to look at. Some people actually have moved ahead and have identified possibly 12. So when we get to 7, we'll decide if we want to move ahead and look at what those 12 could be. My friend Temple was visiting last week and we were looking at a book that had a diagram of all the chakras, and one of the cool things about the 12th is that it could be anywhere and it's unique to you. And so I think that just continues to take us on this journey of self-discovery, that we have all these commonalities and these things that happen to all of us, like developmentally. We've all been 2 years old, we've all been 5 years old, and there's certain developmental stages that happen, things that we learn along the way, like reading, and then at the same time there are the chakras that are opening up as we develop. And then at some point we get a choice how much further we want to develop as humans. And in being human, that doesn't just mean physical growth, right? But that means all of the pieces of being a human. So this includes our spiritual side, and I know that there are so many different routes that people take to find their belief system. And so whatever route that is for you, it's something that I think is important to not ignore, but really continue to assess and explore, because it's part of us. Generationally, things that have happened in different parts of our history and lineage. There is the physical piece. I've been getting into running and yoga a little more because I realized that my intellect, my mind, my cognitive understanding of things will only take me so far. And often I recognized there was an imbalance for me in that I will go toward all of the thoughts and the research and the making sense of something cognitively, and yet I won't always find the answers I'm looking for. So I know that our body keeps a lot of answers within it. And so I have to go into movement now. That's my next journey, in order to really start understanding physically my personal history and where maybe some of my deeper traumas are currently still stored and located. So that's my journey right now. So there's all these pieces that make us human. I've only mentioned a few, but it's part of our responsibility as adults to really look at all of us and all sides of us and decide if we want to continue to grow and develop and really find out who we are on many levels. So today's chakra is the solar plexus, our Manipura, and its color is yellow. So I have a few objects that I just found randomly in my office. Chicky, which is one of London's favorite toys. Post-its when I'm taking notes. And a feather. I have some yellow objects. I would encourage you to just take a photo of something yellow, and maybe in the remainder of this week look around your environment and just be aware of, like, where do you see yellow. One other thing that I thought was cool that I read recently is if you're feeling like you need to pay attention to this chakra a little bit more, maybe eat yellow foods like bananas. I don't know. I think it's a cool thing to think about, is how color actually is a part of all of these parts of us. Its location is on the upper abdomen, and so it's right above the navel. And maybe one of the reasons why food could be a really great way to get into this chakra is because it's actually has to do with digestion. And so, of course, we think about physical digestion, but then I think about also that digestion of all the things that we take in every day and what is kind of getting stuck in this area. The other like meaning behind it is lustrous gem, jewel city. Sometimes those are names. So it means that there's like many facets and reflections in this yellow chakra. If it's deficient, then there's like a negative self-image, a lack of willpower, and it can sometimes physically manifest in health issues in this area. So including liver, sometimes eating disorders, and diabetes. So there are some also poses that you can do that can kind of get you to work on strengthening that area. So if it is deficient, then how can we get it like moving in the other direction? And again, balance that out, which is part of why I've been doing more yoga. So some poses in yoga are the warrior, the chair, and your plank pose, because it actually activates the core self. I did post one yellow thing earlier this week, and now I have it in front of me and it's kind of turning brown. But what can you find in your world that is yellow, and maybe post some photos of it? And you could even make a piece of art and try and only use like themes of yellow or oranges or things around, even red, orange, yellow, because these chakras build on one another. So I randomly have this set of 4 brush pens, and they're all they're the reds and then like the orange and the yellow. And so I think it's interesting that these are the only ones that came in this set, and I've been using them all week for like random things, just kind of keeping them on my desk. And so we're starting right with that root, this right to be here, and then we're moving up into this right to want and to have. And then we're moving into this personal power place, this fire. That's the element for this like power that fire is. And when we work on that part of us, it also like brings fire to the rest of the body and kind of like burns up the things that don't need to be there. So there's this fire that can be really healthy to burn off the stuff that doesn't serve us anymore. So find some stuff in your house that's yellow and take a photo, post it on Make with J. So that's our Facebook group, facebook.com groups Make with J. You can also tag me on Lift Hold Heal on Instagram. I look forward to seeing what you're making and kind of how you're incorporating these 3 chakras into your life and your understanding of yourself in all of its various forms this week.